Alright, YouTubers. Today we're going to start our Bonafide SS110 modification. So this is going to go from this stock SS107 Huntsman to a lake legal, running lights, 360 light, trolling motor powered, foot steered SS107. This will probably be several videos. Today we're just going to start out with modifying this Newport vessel's 36-pound trolling motor so that it'll be able to go onto the 107. So what I've got here is the 24-inch shaft. Newport Vessels makes this specifically for kayaks, so I won't have to cut this shaft, and that's one of the reasons that I went with this model. Plus, it's rated for saltwater as well. I don't do a lot of saltwater fishing, but it's nice to have it if you need it. We'll probably get down in August down to the Carolina coast and get out in the sand a little bit and see if we can get on some spots and trout. So we'll see. With this, I have the one objective cap. So this will save me from having to make a PVC cap to go on top of the shafts to allow the wiring to come out the top. And One Objective does a really good job with that. I also bought the One Objective easy mount or quick mount. It just seemed like it was going to be the easiest for me. There's no drilling. It goes into the holes on your kayak, your access panel, and then the hole for your pole mount. With this is the Yak Gadget steering assembly that we'll use to attach steering cables to and turn our kayak. So let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is remove this head on this trolling motor, figure out what's going on in there. I've never done this before, and I've never seen any mods done to this Newport Vessels trolling motor either. So this is going to be a kind of trial by fire thing, but it should be fairly simple. Pretty comparable to the Minn Kota ones. Basically just getting the head off, getting all the components off of it so that you have direct connection to the motor, bypassing all this other junk. So let's get started. All right, so what we've done here so far is remove 6 of these Phillip head screws that hold this upper housing on. You can see it there. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 screws holding it on there. Then there'll be another screw here that holds the head onto the shaft itself. So that's the first step. We're inside the guts of it now. We'll get this removed from the shaft. If there's anything there that you need to know, I'll definitely be sure to mention that when we get back. Alright, so we got this thing torn apart a little bit. Took the little actuator off, steering mount. Now we're into the guts of it here. If you can see here, there's a bunch of wires in here. We don't really need that many. We only need 2. We need the power wires. You can tell the difference between those two because they're thicker. So this red will be our hot, this black will be our negative down here. So we'll unhook those and then we'll do away with the rest of this head. Alright, so now we've got the head completely removed, all the junk's out of the way, and we see that we have 4 wires here, white and yellow, 2 control wires, and then these are your power wires for the motor. These are the only 2 that we'll need. These 2 are obsolete. We don't need them at all. So they'll just be stuffed inside the shaft and hidden out of place, and we won't have to worry about those. Alright, so we ran into our first problem. Not a big one, but an annoyance. So this One Objective cap that we're trying to install here has the holes drilled in the side of it. The Newport Vessels shaft has pre-drilled holes in the front and back. See that? So what I'm gonna have to do is put this cap on, drill 2 new holes so that I can screw this cap on. Like I said, not a big deal, but if you're watching this and you're thinking about doing it, one of those annoying things that you have to stop and spend time doing. So we'll get that done, and then we'll keep moseying on down the road. So I'd already marked these holes. I just used the cap and the holes in the cap as a guide. Mark the holes. And then this is a 5/32 drill bit. Just big enough to facilitate the screws to go into it. Ideally you'd want to protect your cabling inside of there, but meh. Now we'll take this bad boy. Pretty close. All right, there we have it. So here we have our modified Newport Vessels trolling motor. It's about as easy as it gets. I can't imagine it being any easier than that. Now I may end up taking off this lock here. I know a lot of people take that off so that if they hit structure or stump or hit shallow water, that it doesn't damage their mount or their kayak when it hits. I may or may not do that. I don't know. Haven't figured out what I want to do. I do know that I do want to put a lifting system on this, like a cable pulley system. I see where people attach a line here and run it up to a pulley and are able to lift and lower their kayak, their trolling motor from their seat. So I'll probably end up doing something like that, but that'll be another video. All right, so this is not gonna wrap it up for this one. I'm about to do a dry run on this trolling motor. So I have a pulse width modulator that I ordered. We're probably just gonna wire it up, dry wire it to a battery just to make sure that it's gonna work properly. And then once I get that wired up, I'll show you how I did that, and then we'll give it a test.